A perfect afternoon from baseball from Cotuit, Massachusetts. Lowell Park, the site for today's matchup as the Hyannis Harbor Hawks hit the road and get ready to do battle with their division rivals, the Kettleers. Austin DeCouta and Lincoln Revill here with you in the booth as the Harbor Hawks await first pitch here. 5 p.m. scheduled for the first pitch in tonight's balls game. And Lincoln, the Harbor Hawks have won 3 out of 4 and looking to keep the momentum going tonight in this Western Division matchup.
Yeah, this game between the Kettleers, the Battle of Barnstable, the 2021 Patriot Cup. We're behind the Kettleers 2-1 so far this season. We've played them 3 times. We've beaten them once at McKeon Park. We're looking for our first win against them from Lowell Park. So we'll see if we can bring it out here tonight.
Yeah, in the 3 wins in the last 4 games, the Harbor Hawks have only allowed 6 runs across those 3 games, so the pitching has been key. The man behind the Harbor Hawks' success has been pitching coach Rain Korn, and Taylor, our sideline reporter, caught up with Coach Korn before the game. Taylor, what did Coach Korn have to say?
Thanks, Austin. I caught up with Coach Korn, who said he expects a lot out of his pitchers. You know, he talked about how this is a tough league, but he really likes the lineup and the pitching staff. He says you put them in Omaha and they win a College World Series. They're really progressing, getting better, and staying consistent, and we've seen that shown in the last couple of ball games.
Thank you very much, Taylor. And Lincoln, as Taylor mentioned, the staff has been consistent. We've seen a few different guys in the mix. Jonas Scalaro, Adrian Saravo come to mind, but tonight's starting pitcher for the Harbor Hawks is Marc, a right-hander who started the year as a reliever, but has made 2 starts recently, and he's been very good in those 2 outings.
He really has. Adamiak has really settled into that starting position well, and like you said, he started out as a reliever, but whenever our starting rotation got a little bit thinner than it has been at the beginning of the season, he's stepped up and he's really settled into that role nicely.
Taking a look at the lineups tonight, first for the visiting Hyannis Harbor Hawks. Lincoln, who is in the Harbor Hawk lineup for tonight?
Yeah, starting off with the Harbor Hawks is going to be Clark Elliott out in center field, followed by Kyle Ball, the shortstop. Nick Romano, who's had an electric bat in his first 3 games, will be at DH in the 3-hole, followed by Zane Harris, the first baseman. Dom Johnson will be in right field. Mason Greer behind him in the 6th hole. Trent Taylor in the 7th hole, playing in left field, followed by Ryan Proto, the catcher, and Ryan Romano will be playing at second base and bring up that 9-hole spot. And Trent Taylor, who I mentioned in the 7th hole, getting his first career start with the Harbor Hawks tonight.
Taylor joined the team earlier this week, and he pinch hit, as you mentioned. He pinch ran another game. So we've seen him in a couple of games, but his first start today, and it's against a rival Kettleer squad. Let's take a look at the defensive setup tonight for Cotuit as they take the mound in their red Friday uniform. So around the Cape Cod League to honor the military veterans and active military, we have red jerseys for the home team. Both teams wear their camouflage hat. So tonight, Cotuit in the red uniforms that say Cape Cod and white lettering across the chest. For the Kettleers, in the Cape Cod uniforms. On the mound tonight is Quinn Matthews, a left-handed pitcher. Doing the catching for him is Matthew Donlin. At third base, it's Carter Trice. At short, Ryan Ritters. At second, Eric Brown. And at first, Luke Gold, who's had an electric bat this season, among the leaders in the Cape. And in left field, we have Matthew Suggs. We haven't seen him before. In center field, Jace Grady, who has 2 homers, and he'll be also batting leadoff. We'll get to the Kettleer lineup when they come up to bat. But he's on the top of the order for a reason. He also has a great glove in the field, and in right field is Noah Bridge for Cotuit. First pitch just seconds away here, and the Harbor Hawks will have to do battle with Quinn Matthews, as mentioned, the left-hander. Matthews has made 2 starts on the season. He comes into the ball game with 7 innings pitched with just 1 earned run and a 1.29 ERA. But Lincoln, the Harbor Hawks have been jumping on pitchers early lately. We'll see if they can do the same on Matthews. Matthews has allowed 7 walks in those 7 innings. So you may be able to get some base runners. Clark Elliott digs in for Hyannis. He swings at the first pitch and hits it on the ground to first, and it's into right field for a base hit. 1 pitch, 1 hit, and Hyannis has the leadoff man on base here in Cotuit.
Yeah, that was a well-hit ball there from Elliott, and a good dive over there from Gold over at first base, but that ball took a bad hop and bounced right over him, and it went into right field. Good way to start off the game for the Harbor Hawks.
That'll bring up Kyle Ball, the shortstop. He's in the 2-hole today. Ball from Stetson University. Gets to face a left-handed pitcher as he bats from the right side. A lot of right-handers hit really well off left-handed pitching. Ball, no different. Matthews now from the stretch comes set. He'll throw over to first. Clark Elliott is back in standing. If you're just joining us, Austin DeCouta and Lincoln Revill here with you from Cotuit, Massachusetts at Lowell Park. Kettleers hosting the Harbor Hawks. Matthews delivers home. That one is cut on and missed. Kyle Ball couldn't catch up. It was 89 miles per hour at the letters, and the count is 0-1. Kyle Ball coming into the ball game as the team leader with walks. He has 17 of those. Good for a .320 on-base percentage. He's done a great job getting on base, drawing walks, and that's why he is in the 2-hole for this lineup. The count 1-1 as he takes a fastball outside.
Yeah, that 171 average doesn't really tell you just how much Ball can reach base. Like you mentioned, he has a .320 average. He's good at just finding any way he can to reach base, whether that be by the walk, the hit, or getting hit by a pitch.
Pickoff move to first. Elliott, a half dive back into the bag. Luke Gold over there at first for Cotuit today. Matthews, a left-handed pitcher, can be difficult to steal on, but they are aware of Elliott's speed as he is 4 for 4 on stolen base attempts this season. Delivers home with the 1-1. Hit on the ground to third. It's by a diving Trice Elliott on his way from first all the way to third. The throw from left field not in time, and Kyle Ball with a double, which puts runners on second and third with still nobody out.
Well, I don't think you could have started this game off any hotter if you were the Harbor Hawks. A single and a double so far. 2 runners in scoring position now for Nick Romano, who has had probably the most consistent bat in the past few games for the Harbor Hawks. Not just probable. It is. He's had the most consistent bat in the past few games.
Romano is 4 for his first 10 with 2 doubles and 2 walks. He was activated earlier in the week. The twin brother of Ryan Romano. Cotuit brings the infield in. First pitch to Nick Romano is in the dirt and blocked by the catcher, Donlin.
Good stop from Matthew Donlin, being able to bring that one in. Keep it from going to the backstop. It's a deep backstop here at Lowell Park. If it gets by, Elliott with some wheels scores easily.
And it's chain link as well. It does not bounce as much as the brick as we've seen in other ballparks. The 1-0 is a nice off-speed pitch at 79 that gets Nick Romano swinging over the top. The count is 1-1. As mentioned, the Cotuit infield is in here as they look to cut down a possible Hyannis run early. Top of the first inning, the first 2 batters have reached for the Harbor Hawks. A Clark Elliott single, a Kyle Ball double. That brings up the 3-hitter Nick Romano, who's the DH today. The count is 1-1. Matthews fires home in the dirt, 2-1.
Yeah, in his last few starts, Romano has been over at first base. This is the first time we've seen him playing, but not in the field. This actually, we were supposed to see him at DH on Wednesday night, but at the last second he ended up being subbed in at first base and switching with Zane Harris, who Harris is at first.
The 2-1 to Romano. Pops it up. Drifting towards foul territory to the Harbor Hawks first base dugout, but circling back and can't make the catch is Luke Gold as it just missed him. Maybe lost that one in the sun. The count evens up at 2-2, but Romano will get to see another pitch. Hyannis in their road blue uniforms, the blue jersey with orange lettering, and the white pants with the pinstripes. As mentioned, Cotuit in the Friday red uniforms to honor the military, and those serving. The 2-2 from Matthews to Romano is inside. That hit him on the jersey. So Nick Romano will reach by way of the hit by pitch, which loads the bases here with still nobody out in the top of the first for Zane Harris.
Harris has had a pretty big bat in games past as well, batting .215 on the season. On that .215, a .320 on base percentage.
He has 6 RBI and 1 home run. He was an RBI machine at Wright State this year with 55 runs batted in. See if he can come through for Hyannis. Always good to get out to an early lead, Lincoln. And we've seen that be of significance for Hyannis in the last few games. First pitch breaking ball called strike, 0-1. If the Harbor Hawks can get out early, that helps their pitchers pitch a little bit more comfortably. They led 2-0 after 2 against Falmouth on that 5-1 win. Jonas Scalaro talked about that, how you get a little bit more comfortable on the mound when your team can get you up and ahead early. They'd go on to win that game 5-1. The 0-1 to Zane Harris. Now the breaking ball this time, it's a swinging strike. The count moves to 0-2.
That breaking ball from Matthews is really getting in there tonight. It's breaking nicely. It's a beautiful pitch from our vantage point, just a nasty thing.
It's very tough on left-handed hitters especially. Harris up against it here, down 0-2. He is a very good 2-strike hitter. We've seen a couple of walks from him even after being down in the count 0-2. The base is loaded. The 0-2 from Matthews. Breaking ball fouled off. Harris.
We might be seeing another good battle here from him if he keeps on fouling those off with the 0-2.
He does not go down easy. 0-2. Matthews gets the signs from Donlin. He comes set. Stares down Zane Harris and fires the 0-2. That misses outside, 1-2 the count. A fastball at 90 could not find the zone.
Like I mentioned, Hyannis down 2-1 in the Patriot Cup. Cotuit has beat us the last 2 appearances. The first time we faced them at Lowell Park ended in a 13-5 loss, and then second time at McKean Park the day after ended in an 8-1 loss.
The 1-2 to Zane Harris is another fastball that misses outside and low. The count evens up at 2-2, and we mentioned it. Zane Harris does not go down easily, even if he's down in the count 0-2. He has battled back to make it 2-2 here with still nobody out and the bases loaded. Matthews comes set. The 2-2 to Zane Harris awaits. And he fires. Breaking ball hit hard on the ground and foul. Zane Harris continues to fight here on the top of the first. And Lincoln, as you mentioned, Hyannis down to Cotuit 2-1 in the Patriot Cup this season. For those of you who may not be too familiar, the Patriot Cup is the battle between Hyannis and Cotuit, the battle of Barnstable, so to speak, as the two teams will have 6 games this season. The team who wins more games is awarded the Patriot Cup.
I will say, in every game that we've played against the Kettleers this season,
the 2-2, a breaking ball hit well to center field. It's going to hang up long enough for Grady to make the catch. Elliott's going to tag and score. It's a set fly RBI for Zane Harris, and the Harbor Hawks have an early 1-0 lead.
Well, he beat me to what I was going to say beforehand, but this game with the Harbor Hawks scoring the first run of the game, this is the first time against the Kettleers where we've scored first. And so this could be something good brewing here, because we've always had to come from behind against the Kettleers, but now we're starting off with some momentum, and we have the lead.
Zane Harris continues to produce runs for Hyannis. His 7th RBI on the season, that time on the sac fly. With 1 away and still runners on first and second, that brings in the right fielder, Dom Johnson. Matthews with a pickoff move. He just will hold the ball and step off. It looks Kyle Ball back to second.
Now, another thing to realize is that the last time we were at Lowell Park, the Kettleers ended up striking out 13 Harbor Hawks in that game. So far, we don't have none as of yet.
Johnson, the 5-hitter today for Hyannis, takes a fastball for a called strike at the knees, 0-1. Clark Elliott led the inning off with a single, followed by a Kyle Ball double. Nick Romano was hit by a pitch. Zane Harris hit a sac fly to center field to make it 1-0 Hyannis. Still runners on first and second, just 1 away. The 0-1 awaits to Dom Johnson. Matthews will check his runner at second and fire home. A fastball that misses. They back pick to second base as Donlin fires, but diving back safely is Kyle Ball.
Very nice arm there from Donlin behind the plate. I didn't think he'd be able to make that as close as he did.
1-1 with 1 away to Johnson, the future Kansas State outfielder, transferring there from Oklahoma State. The 1-1. Breaking ball, that one's hit to right center field. It's caught in the air by Bridge for out number 2. Elliott, ball that is, retreats to second. Romano retreats to first. So the runners will stay where they are, and there are 2 away.
Well, the Kettleers have done a great job so far in this first inning. They got the bases loaded, nobody out since then. They've only allowed 1 run across, and they've been able to get 2 outs since then. So we'll see if Mason Greer can keep this inning going for the Hawks.
Greer, the left-handed hitter from McLennan Community College. He will be transferring for this fall. With 2 away, Greer looking to add on as Hyannis has 1 home here in the top of the first. First pitch to Greer, a fastball on the outside corner, 0-1. 0-1 the count to Mason Greer, who came into the year as a switch hitter, but after not seeing many left-handed pitching at college, he abandoned hitting from the right side and became a full-time left-handed hitter. The The 0-1 to Greer from Matthews is a breaking ball and a good job by Greer to lay off a pitch in the dirt. The count moves to 1-1.
That was a very tempting breaking ball there, and a good job from Greer being able to keep his bat back. He wanted to go, but he was able to resist enough, and now he's ahead in the count. Or even in the count, I should say.
There is a right-handed pitcher stretching in the Cotuit Kettleers bullpen. He is not thrown. He's just stretching. He could just be getting loose. We'll see what he does the rest of the inning. 2 away now. Matthews allowed the first 3 runners to reach base before recording an out via a sac fly and then another fly out. Harborhawks do have a run in on 2 hits. The 1-1 to Mason Greer. Fly ball. Shallow left field. Moving in is Suggs. And he makes the catch to end the inning. 3 flyouts in a row after the Hawks load the bases, but they do get one. Hyannis leads it after the top of the first, 1-0 on the Harborhawks Baseball Network.
Hi, my name is Caden Rose. I'm an infielder for the Harborhawks, and you're listening to the Harborhawk Network.
The bottom of the first inning just moments away here from Lowell Park in Cotuit, Massachusetts. Austin DeCouta and Lincoln Revill here with you in the broadcast setup, or table, booth, whatever you want to call it. But Lincoln, a good top half of the first as the Harborhawks get a run. They lead it 1-0 against Cotuit. Let's take a look now at the Cotuit Kettleers starting lineup, starting with Jace Grady, the leadoff man who's playing center field today. We'll see him in just a moment. Carter Trice, the third baseman, batting second. Batting third is Luke Gold, the first baseman for Cotuit. Batting fourth, Eric Brown, the second baseman. Batting fifth is the right fielder, Noah Bridge. Batting sixth is the left fielder, Matthew Suggs. Nathan Martorella is the DH today. He's batting seventh. Batting eighth, the catcher, Matthew Donlin. And batting ninth is Ryan Ritter. He's the shortstop for the Kettleers. And Lincoln, taking a look at the defensive alignment today for Hyannis. Who was out in the field?
Yeah, we have Marc on the mound for the Harborhawks tonight. Ryan Proto behind the plate, who his family is actually set up right next to our broadcast table here. We going from left to right across the infield. Mason Greer over at third, Kyle Ball at short, Ryan Romano over at second, and Zane Harris at first base. And then going out in the outfield from left to right, we have Trent Taylor over in left, Clark Elliott in center, and Dom Johnson will be out in right field. And like I mentioned last half inning, Trent Taylor out in left, making his first defensive start for the Harborhawks.
Marc toes the rubber as he fires a first pitch fastball that misses outside for ball one. Adamiak with 94 miles per hour out the chute. We've seen that pretty consistently this season. An electric fastball that makes it very tough for hitters to get ahead on. The 1-0 is a ball 2-0 to Jace Grady, the center fielder for Cotuit. He comes into the ball game batting .290 with 2 homers, 5 RBI. He's also a stolen base threat. He's second on the team with 4 stolen bases in 4 attempts. The 2-0. Fastball called strike, 2-1 the count. Damiak in the zone.
Damiak with some good numbers, a 5.40 ERA and 13 and a third innings. He has allowed 12 hits, 8 earned runs, 9 runs total, 9 walks, and he's struck out 13.
That pitch is hit on the ground to second. Ryan Romano is there. The throw to first in time. 1 up, 1 down.
Good first play there. Good job from Romano over at second base. He had to shuffle a bit over to his left to make that grab, but didn't look too hard over there as he was able to scoop that one up, throw a beautiful throw over to first to Harris for out number 1.
That brings up Carter Trice, the third baseman. Trice comes into the game batting .125 on the year. 1 for 8 as he's behind 0-1 to Marc Damiak.
Now, one person that's caught my eye out in the field has really been Ryan Proto, just how solid he's been behind the plate. He came in about midway through the season, starting to make those defensive starts behind the dish instead of coming out when he came out of the bullpen as the bullpen catcher, but he's been electric in the starts that he's made.
The count 1-1 to Carter Trice after Damiak missed with a 0-1 slider. Damiak gets the signs from Proto, the 1-1 on its way. That one misses down and in, 2-1 the count. No lights here at Lowell Park, so you have to keep in mind the sun is a factor here. Ball games start at 5 p.m. They are moved up to about 4 o'clock towards the end of the year.
Yeah, we do know that Cotuit, as of late, has had some trouble getting in complete games, so we'll see if we can get anything going here.
That one's fouled off. 2-2 the count evens up. 93 on the fastball. Trice looking to avoid going down on strikes. The bullpens here at Lowell Park. The Cotuit Kettleers bullpen out in left field. The high setup on the built-up benches so the players can see over the fence from their seat. The same goes for the right field bullpen. It's tucked in the corner a little bit more, just behind the foul pole for the visiting Hyannis Harbor Hawks. They're in the first base dugout. Cotuit has the third base dugout here at home. The 2-2. Hit hard on the ground to third. Mason Greer backhands it. Strong throw across the diamond in time. Great play by Mason Greer, who makes it look routine. And there's 2 away.
Off the bat, that had a loud pop coming off of that wood. A hard hit ball down to the hot corner. Good backhand from Greer and a strong throw, showing off the strength that he has getting a throw all the way across the diamond to first.
That'll bring up Luke Gold, the first baseman for the first time in this ballgame. He's in the 3-hole today. Gold listed as a second baseman on the roster. Takes a called strike. 0-1 off-speed pitch there by Damiak. Gold from Boston College comes into this game batting .257, 4 homers, 17 RBI. Amongst the top 10 in the league in runs batted in. The 0-1 called strike. He's behind 0-2. He 6 that pitch there from Damiak.
Whew. He's bringing it today. Now Luke Gold actually leads Cotuit in both homers and RBI. He has, like you mentioned, 4 home runs and 17 RBI.
The 0-2 from Damiak breaking ball. Hit on the ground to short. Kyle Ball picks it on a hop. The throw to first is in time. Damiak retires the Kettleers in order. We head to the top of the second inning. Hyannis leads it by 1 on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network.
that ball well to right field. It is
Adios,
high,
amigo.
It is far, and it is gone.
Holy cow.
Zane Harris crushed that one. A long drive towards right center field, and it's gone in the trees. Hit from Braithwaite. Swung on and missed, and the ball game is over. The Harbor Hawks have defeated the Cotuit Kettleers. That one is a good long drive towards left field, and gone!
You're listening to the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network.
Back here for the top of the second inning, Austin DeCouta, Lincoln Revill from the broadcast table. As Trent Taylor leads it off for the inning, it's Taylor, Proto, Romano due up 7-8-9. Taylor tries to drop a bunt, and he's behind in the count 0-2 after the first pitch was fouled off. 0-2 the count to Trent Taylor, looking for his first hit of the year. He was just activated recently, but he's been impressive. He was a pinch runner, stole a bag, and came home to score. That one is flown out to pretty deep center field by Taylor. And making the catch out there is Grady for out number 1. Made some solid contact, but just got under that one a bit.
Some very solid contact. Saw a little bat flip from him there. He thought that one was going to go way over, but ended up being caught up just a little bit. He got just a tad underneath it. A little bit. If he would have made more solid contact, would have gone way over the center field wall.
That'll bring up the hometown favorite, Ryan Proto. Proto from Centerville, Massachusetts. Just down the road from Cotuit, all a part of Barnstable. First pitch from Matthews to Proto is a breaking ball that misses 1-0. Proto gets the start behind the dish. He comes into the ball game batting .300 as he pops that one up. Drifting over to make the play is Luke Gold, and that is going to be 2 up, 2 down.
Well, the good thing is the Harbor Hawks are making contact with every at-bat. Still, nobody has gone down swinging. All outs have been flyouts so far. So the good thing is we're seeing the ball really well out of the pitcher's hand, and we're making contact with it.
That'll bring up Ryan Romano, the second baseman. Matthews into the windup quickly and fires a fastball that misses 1-0. Romano has been a mainstay of the Harbor Hawk lineup the last 3 weeks or so, playing a little bit of second base, third base, and he's made one start at shortstop. The 1-0 to Romano in the dirt, 2-0.
Yeah, Romano's been very solid at all 3 positions he's played, especially at third base. He was a wall over at the hot corner, wall over at second. He's been very good for the Harbor Hawks in the infield.
The 2-0 on its way. Romano tries to drop a bunt. He pops it up. Donlin is under it. He makes the grab. The inning is over. The Harbor Hawks go down in order here in the top of the second. Cotuit coming up to bat on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network.
Hi, my name is Marcos Pujos. I'm the first baseman for the Harbor Hawks. You're listening to the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network.
Back here from Lowell Park, Austin DeCouta, Lincoln Revill here with you in the broadcast booth as the Harbor Hawks hold a 1-0 lead after 1.5 over Cotuit. Kettleers coming up to bat for their second time in the ball game. It's Eric Brown due to lead us off. 4, 5, 6. Brown, Bridge, and Suggs. Marc back on the hill as he winds up and fires a first pitch, which is swung on and popped up, drifting over towards our broadcast table and out of play. 0-1 the count.
And this is another place where we could be seeing some youth mobs here with the Forest with the foul balls.
Lots of kids and a very, very good crowd here in Cotuit today. Lincoln packed stands and fans all around the field with their lawn chairs lining the left and right field lines, and some have trickled out into left field as well.
This is a bigger crowd than we saw the last time we were at Lowell Park. I don't remember there being fans in the outfield, definitely.
Just a handful, not too many, but there's a consistent line going down the left field line. The count is 1-1 to Eric Brown. Adamiak winds and fires. That one misses. 2-1. Lively crowd here tonight. Lots of crowd noise. Definitely not a quiet crowd. Makes for an exciting atmosphere here in Cotuit as Adamiak winds and fires a 2-1. A fastball hit on the ground to short. Kyle Ball charges the throw on the run to first in time. Nice play by Kyle Ball to Stetson shortstop, and there's one away here in the bottom of the second.
Magnificent play there from Ball over at short. Made that grab on the high hop, on the hop. Threw it on the run, a beautiful out. He now has back-to-back putouts, and this infield has really been getting into it. They're responsible for all 4 of the putouts so far, so the entire infield has been getting a lot of action.
That'll bring up Noah Bridges. He gets the start today in right field for Cotuit from Wilmington, North Carolina, and also attends NC Wilmington. Comes into the ball game batting 200 on the year, 2 for 10 with an RBI, a relatively new player to Cotuit. He's ahead on Adamiak 1-0. Fastball misses, and it's 2-0.
Bridges from NC Wilmington, 200 average on the season. 2 out of 10.
2-0 the count as that one's fouled back. Bridges. Bridges in 2021 played 47 games, making 43 starts. (2-1) Adamiak fires. He thought about drawing a bunt, but pulls it back. 3-1 the count.
Hey, what's up, Charles? How you doing? How was your trip? How was your trip back? We had a nice trip back. Beautiful, right? Yeah, beautiful ride back. Yeah, right?
3-1 to Bridges. Saw him make a putout earlier in the ball game as the Harbor Hawks have hit the ball to the outfield plenty of times tonight. As Lincoln had mentioned, all the outs today have been in the air. Hyannis is getting under the ball just a bit, but they're making contact.
They are. It's very nice to see contact. We've really been limiting the amount of strikeouts that we get. You mentioned a couple of games ago we've seen as many as 19, 17 strikeouts for the Harbor Hawks in one game, but the past couple of games we've really limited the amounts of times that we get out at the plate.
As we mentioned, they struck out one game in the year. 19 times did Hyannis, but they've cut down on the strikeouts a bit as that one's hit on the ground at first. Harris flips it onto the pitcher covering, who's not in time. Adamiak couldn't get over there. Bridges runs well and is in with an infield single. Close play at first.
It was a very close play. It could have gone either way, and like you mentioned, Adamiak just got his foot in a little bit too late. Was a good play, good grab over there by Harris from first, but he just couldn't get there in time.
Matt Suggs, the left fielder, steps in. If you're just joining us, Austin DeCouta, Lincoln Revill in the booth as the Harbor Hawks hold a 1-0 lead over the Cotuit Kettleers as they look to even up this Patriot Cup. That would be something, Lincoln, if the Harbor Hawks can tie that thing up.
As we know, the Patriot Cup this year, in the past it's been 8 games. This year it's going to be 6. This is game number 4.
Runner goes on the pitch. That one's fouled off by Suggs. The count moves to 0-1. And I know the players aren't too aware of the Patriot Cup. They've heard about it, talked about it a bit, but their main goal isn't necessarily just trying to beat Cotuit. They're trying to win games on a daily basis and improve. But I'm sure for those involved with both teams, including the towns, have a little bit of a rivalry with this. So it would be something for Hyannis to try to come back and upset Cotuit. The Kettleers come into the ball game with a 5-game losing streak, Lincoln, so a good chance for Hyannis to capitalize. The 0-2. The count now to Bridges, or Suggs rather.
Like you said, the Kettleers with a 5-game losing streak. The Harbor Hawks have won 3 of their last 4 games. So momentum is definitely on our side. We're making a little bit of a break in the division standings right now.
Harbor Hawks looking to shock the Cape Cod League and make a late run. Pickoff move to first, diving back safely is Bridges. The count is 0-2 to Suggs.
Now, if you would have seen our record a couple of weeks ago, per se, then the Patriot Cup might have been the only hardware that we were fighting for. But in games of late, we're only 12 games out of a playoff spot, so we still have a viable chance. If we can turn it up here, we have a viable chance to really make a break for it and possibly get in a playoff spot.
Hyannis would need a little bit of help from some other teams to lose some games, but they can definitely help themselves with 3 games against Cotuit left and I believe 2 against Falmouth.
Cotuit and Falmouth. Falmouth we've beaten twice. Cotuit in second place we've beaten once, so we know that they're 2 very, very beatable teams.
Damiak picks over to first. Again, they got him. Marc Damiak picks off Bridges at first. Great move and a nice tag by Zane Harris, and suddenly there's 2 away.
A beautiful, beautiful pickoff move from Damiak, and Bridges got an extra step off of first. He was sort of hopping over towards second base, and he just wasn't ready for that pickoff move. An amazing play.
Terrific pickoff move from Damiak, and he's ahead 1-2 on Suggs. The pitch, cut on and missed. The inning is over. Marc Damiak looks good. He's through 2 scoreless. Hyannis leads it 1-0 as they come up to bat and look to add on with the top of the order due-up, Elliott, Ball, Romano, when we return on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network.
Manager of the Hyannis Harbor Hawks, and you're listening to the Hyannis Harbor Hawks Radio Network.
Clark Elliott getting ready to lead us off here as we return for the top of the 3rd inning. Austin DeCouta, Lincoln Revill here with you, and Lincoln, a good start for Hyannis, up 1-0 early against their rivals, the Kettleers. Matthews back on the hill as he fires a breaking ball to count 1-0 to the Michigan leadoff man, Elliott, who is 1 for 1 with a single and run scored tonight.
Yeah, like you said, a very offensive game for the Harbor Hawks at the plate. On defense, only 1 runner allowed on base so far, and that runner was Noah Bridges, who ended up getting picked off at first, so his time on base was short-lived. I'm very impressed with what I've seen so far tonight.
It's very important for Hyannis to get out to early leads. We've seen what they can do when they're leading the game. They continue to add on.
I mentioned earlier, this is Hyannis' first time leading the Kettleers out of the gate. They've never had a first inning lead. So a little bit of a mood change here at Lowell Park as the Kettleers now have to come from behind.
See if they can hold on here The count 1-2 to Elliott. The windup and the pitch from Matthews. Breaking ball, we'll see if he went. The home plate umpire doesn't check with third and just makes a decision himself, so Elliott's down on strikes for out number 1.
Yeah, I think that was a good decision. I think he tried to hold his bat back a bit, but he just couldn't do it. I think he went over by a few inches.
That'll bring up Kyle Ball for the second time in the ball game. Ball doubled back in inning number 1, but was left stranded at second base. Matthews back on the hill for his third inning of work. He did retire the Hawks in order in the top of the second. 7 straight retired for Matthews after he allowed the first 3 to reach base. The 0-1 the ball in the dirt, 1-1. Some shadows starting to creep in. I think the sun maybe has creeped behind the clouds a bit, as that's what it appears to have done.
That can't be good. That's a big cloud, too, so if it doesn't come out, we may be losing daylight faster than we think.
Fastball misses, 2-1 the count to Ball. Matthews has been sitting about 89 with his fastball tonight. Shakes off the sign from Donlin, lines up and deals the 2-1. Breaking ball, and Ball was out in front of it. The count evens up at 2-2. Good pitch there. Matthews with a funky delivery a little bit. Lincoln definitely can keep you guessing where the ball's coming out. That one's hit hard on the ground to third. Throw on to first in time. Ball is retired on a nice play by Trice, and there's 2 up, 2 down. 8 straight retired by Matthews.
Hard hit ground ball there from Ball. You saw Trice pick that one up, and he had a lot of time. He took a couple of extra hops before throwing that one on to first. A good strong throw from him for out number 2.
That'll bring up Nick Romano, who was hit by a pitch in the first but left stranded. The first pitch to Romano misses outside, 1-0 the count. Quinn Matthews from Stanford. 1-0. That one's hit well down the left field line, curving foul. So that one's going to get off into the corner as the count evens up to 1-1.
Seen a couple of what looked to be big hits from Romano. Turned out to be just a little fouls. In one of his very first at-bats, actually, he sent a long ball that would have been way out of the park, but it ended up going about 50, 75 yards foul. And then that one probably would have been extra bases had it landed on the line, but instead just landed about 10 yards foul.
The count, 2-1 to Nick Romano. Wind up and the pitch from Matthews. A breaking ball that misses, 3-1. That one came across a little bit too high.
Just a little bit high, but it was a beautiful pitch either way.
Great pitch. Great movement on it.
It did. It could have gone either way, really. It was a borderline ball.
The count, 3-1. Matthews winds up and fires a off-speed pitch at 78. That finds the zone. The count is now full with 2 away.
That's a gutsy move, throwing a breaking ball with three balls. I don't know if I trust myself to throw a breaking ball with 3 balls.
The 3-2. Ball 4. A tough pitch as Donlin held it for an extra couple of seconds. He asked the home plate umpire where it missed. Nick Romano has reached base safely now in both of his at-bats as he makes his way to first.
And that 400 average still standing tall. Just a base magnet so far for the Harbor Hawks.
Zane Harris will come to the plate for his second time in the ballgame. Hit a sac fly to center field to bring home Elliott to give the Harbor Hawks their first run and the only run in the ballgame. Romano gets his lead at first, a pickoff move as Romano takes a half a step and lunges back in safely. Matthews from Stanford is mentioned. On the season, he fired 66 2/3 innings pitched, allowed 63 hits, 45 earned runs, and struck out 60. A good strikeout pitcher, but a little bit of a rough year in terms of allowing runs. So a lot of them came across on him. A ERA just over 6 on the year at Stanford. Zane Harris ahead 1-0. Difficult lefty-lefty matchup as Matthews has shown a couple of good breaking pitches. The 1-0. Breaking ball misses, 2-0. Matthews is not missing by much.
No, he's not. And like you said, he has a nasty breaking ball, which is especially dangerous to left-handers. His only strikeout of the night to Elliott, who is a left-hander, and it was a beautiful breaking ball that Elliott ended up with a check swing, but he couldn't end up holding back.
2-0 to Harris, inside, ball 3. So Matthews walked to Romano, now behind 3-0 to Zane Harris. Lincoln, I have a feeling I know what your answer is going to be, but does he have the green light here?
No, I don't think so. That's now been 4 straight balls. He hasn't been missing the zone by much, but nevertheless, he's been missing the zone.
Matthews comes set, the 3-0 on its way. Inside, ball 4. Back-to-back walks now for the Harbor Hawks as they're looking to put together a little 2-out rally.
Now, what I will say is that if Harris would have had the green light, I would not have been disappointed if he would have swung, because that was inside near, I'd say it was about mid-thigh high, maybe a little bit higher than that. He could have done something nasty with it.
All right, Quinn, 2 outs.
2 away, Quinn Matthews looking to work out a danger. He had allowed the first 3 runners to reach base safely, then retired the next 8, and now has allowed the last 2 to reach. A little bit of a streaky start. That brings up Dom Johnson with 2 away. Runners on first and second. The first pitch, a breaking ball that misses 1-0. Tight zone here tonight at Lowell Park.
Very tight. This home plate umpire not giving any ground at all. We've seen a lot of umpires where a lot of these pitches that Matthews is throwing, a lot of those called balls would have been strikes for other umpires.
2-1 fouled off as the count evens up at 1-1. Johnson looking to bring home a run and expand on this 1-0 lead. Matthews comes set, takes a look at Romano at second and brings home the 1-1, which is popped up. Hit high and drifting off towards the parking lot behind home plate, so the count will move to 1-2, as fans are allowed to keep the foul balls here at Lowell Park, so you'll see I guess, mass of children running for it. There's a good amount of them here tonight for some good Friday night baseball here in Cotuit.
Now the parking lot, we've seen a dangerous parking lot at McKeon Park, another one here at Lowell Park. I feel like I parked far enough away, but
I hope so.
You can never park too far away, in my opinion.
Johnson takes a fastball for a called strike 3, so the inning is over. Hyannis strands 2. We head to the bottom of the 3rd on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network.
Hurtado, number 5, left-hand pitcher from Wake Forest.
I'm Austin Wallace, number 18, left-handed pitcher from the University of Texas.
And you're listening to
the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network.
Bottom of the 3rd inning, ready to begin here at Lowell Park in Cotuit. Austin DeCouta, Lincoln Revill in the broadcast booth. The Harbor Hawks hold a 1-0 lead over Cotuit. 1 run on 2 hits, no errors for the visiting Harbor Hawks. No runs, 1 hit, no errors for the hometown Kettleers. The Kettleers have sent 6 men to the plate, and that's 6 up, 6 down in a way, Lincoln, as they did have a single, but that runner, Bridges, was picked off at first by Adamiak.
Yeah, it's an unorthodox 6 up, 6 down, but hey, 6 up, 6 down nonetheless.
Be Nathan Martorella leading it off, 7-8-9, due up for Cotuit. Martorella, Donlin, Ritter. Martorella comes into this at-bat at 10 for 41 on the season. That's a 243 average with 6 runs batted in. He swings at a fastball and fouls it back. 1-1 the count, evens up. Good hustle from the Cotuit bat boy tonight. He retrieves the foul ball. One thing I noticed about the warning track, or I guess lack of warning track here, as there's only a warning track in front of the dugouts, but there's no warning track behind the backstop here or down the left field line or right field line. It's just grass leading up to the fences.
Yeah, and there's not any in the outfield either from what I can see. I can't see in center field really, but down the third base line into left field, there's not a warning track out there either.
A 1-2 misses, 2-2, and that could be dangerous. You see, at Hyannis, there is the warning track that goes all the way around the entire ballpark.
Mm-hmm. And it's a big warning track at that. I mean, I guess it's the usual size, but, you know, it gives them a lot of room to know when the wall's coming.
The count is 3-2. Marc Adamiak has been effective tonight. He's got a full count here, looking to bring his best to Martorella. Adamiak gets the signs from Proto and confirms the second one put down. The 3-2 on its way. Fastball, weakly hit down the third base line, and it's out of play. The count will hold at 3-2.
Adamiak trying not to walk Martorella for his first walk of the night. One thing that we've noticed is that one correlation between a lot of these Harbor Hawks wins is we've mentioned it a couple of times, the number of free bases that we allow to our opponents, and that's one key for tonight. If Adamiak can limit his walks here in this outing, there's a good chance for the Harbor Hawks.
The 3-2 hit hard up the middle for a base hit. Martorella scorched that ball. He'll reach with a leadoff single.
Yeah, I want to see what could have been the exit velocity on that one. That one was scorched down to second base. Past Romano, didn't have a chance of covering that one. And a good opening base hit for Martorella.
It was 95 off the hand of Adamiak, but I can only imagine how quick that one left the bat. One of the hardest hit balls we've seen tonight, probably the hardest hit ball we've seen.
Mm-hmm.
That brings up Matthew Donlin, the catcher. He's become the primary catcher for Cotuit since Ben Rice was drafted by the New York Yankees. Rice, the catcher from Dartmouth, who was the star of the FCBL last summer, made his way to the Cape this summer, but did not get to finish the season here in Cotuit. I'm sure he's not necessarily disappointed because he gets to go play for the New York Yankees in their minor league system.
The only thing I'd be disappointed about is that it was the Yankees. That's the only thing I'd be disappointed about.
Yeah, I'll give you that one. I'm a Phillies fan, but I don't think there's much love for the Yankees. Especially they beat the Phillies in 2009 as that one's hit on the ground in between short and third. The Kettleers now have a runner at first and second after back-to-back singles here with nobody out to start things off in the bottom of the third.
A couple of Kettleers bats starting to come alive as Martorella and Donlin are both now 1 for 1. And good thing is all 3 bases are hot. Infield fly roll is in effect as well, and the double play is in order, so lots of ways to get 1, maybe even 2 outs.
Ryan Ritter due up now after the Donlin base hit. As you mentioned, Lincoln, you can try to get a double play. That'd be huge for Hyannis. They've turned a few of them. We saw one against Wareham the other night. They have a good infield that gets the ball out of their glove quickly. Ritter squares around to bunt, and he does get it down, but it's foul. Zane Harris was expecting it as he had creeped in under the grass. 0-1 the count to Ritter.
Yeah, Harris is pretty close to the grass here. Greer just a couple steps now. He's actually in on the grass now. Corner's definitely expecting the bunt here.
Ritter comes into the at-bat at a .222 average on the year with a homer and 3 runs batted in. Zane Harris at first base is on the grass. Mason Greer creeping in as well. Ritter definitely looks like he's going to bunt. He squares around again, and this one's also fouled off. The count is now 0-2.
Well, I guess that's one of the best things that Domiak could have done with that pitch. He threw it up and in whenever Ritter was trying to show bunt. I guess that's what you do, just sort of let him try to make contact out of defense, I guess you could say, rather than out of aggression.
Any chance he drops the bunt with 2 strikes? We see it very rarely, more when pitchers are at the plate, but Ritter can hit.
At this point, I don't think we would see it, not this early in the game.
He's going to square around on 0-2, pulls it back, it's 1-2.
Surprising, to say the least.
Maybe that was well, I mean, he wasn't going to get the bat back in time to swing.
Yeah, no.
So he was definitely intending on bunting if that was a strike. Harris is still on the grass at first. Mason Greer has moved even with the bag at third base. He runs well, does Ritter. So it would be a tough out, even if you field the bunt cleanly. You have to be careful here. The count 1-2 as Adamiak comes set. Pick-off move over to second, but the runner is back standing as Adamiak did not need to throw the ball, nobody covering. And you can just tell Ritter continues to look like he's going to bunt. As the bat, twitches a little bit. His hand kind of twitches.
Yeah, his hands are also a little bit lower than they would be, I feel like, for an actual at-bat.
The 1-2 does not bunt on this one. The count moves to 2-2. The last couple, he had started to move the bat a little bit early. May not be bunting here on 2-2. Martorella on second, Donlin on first. The Kettleers had back-to-back singles to start us off here in the bottom of the third. The tying run at second for Cotuit early on in this ball game, bottom of the third. The 2-2. Line drive into left center field. That's going to get down for a base hit. Martorella's being waved around. He's going to come in and score. It's an RBI single for Ryan Ritter, and this game is tied at 1 apiece.
Well, an eventful inning to say the least for the Kettleers. Very good start for them. 3 up and 3 base hits now as they bring up the top of the lineup.
Kettleers started to hit Adamiak's electric fastball. It's allowed them to get 3 hits in the inning. Runners are now on the corners as Donlin advanced from first to third on the base hit. Back to the top of the order as Jace Grady will dig in at the conclusion of Ryan Proto's visit to the mound to talk to his pitcher. Proto returns to home plate to catch. Adamiak on the mound, and now Grady will dig in. Grady grounded out to second. Now the Harbor Hawks do not have the infield in with the go-ahead run at third. They're looking to get a double play still with nobody out. We'll see if Ritter is off at any point during this at-bat. Adamiak is aware of his speed as he takes a glance over at first. Adamiak comes set. Long pause, and he fires home. He bunts. A beautiful bunt. The flip onto first in time. And walking home almost is Donlin as Adamiak did not glance at third. He'll look the runner back, but they do get an out. On Adamiak over to Harris on the bunt, but a beautiful bunt by Grady.
Yeah, and smart base running from Donlin over at third. He made sure to stop where he was up until Adamiak ended up going to first, and then he started his way towards home. If he would have started on the bunt, that would have been a pretty easy out for Adamiak. He would have just had to toss it up to Proto to tag him out at home plate, but instead he just froze and waited for the play at first.
Unfortunately, Adamiak didn't glance at third, so if he looked him back, I think he would have had to retreat to the bag, but ball was bunted in a great spot. A terrific bunt by Grady.
I will say if it was anywhere closer to Adamiak than where it was hit, I feel like if he would have, with it being bunted where it was, if he would have looked back, he may not have had time to get the out at first. It might have been a much closer play than it could have been.
Carter Trice now at the plate. He's 0 for 1 with a ground out. Adamiak spins and looks the runner back to second. The sacrifice bunt there by Grady gives him an RBI and does not register him in at bat. Adamiak had been dominant the first 2 innings, but unfortunately the Kettleers have been hitting him well here. First swung on to center field. Elliott is under it. He makes the catch, and there's 2 away. Trice goes down on the fly out to center. So a good bounce back for Adamiak. Keeping this game competitive.
First 3 allowed on base with hits, and then the next 2 have gone down. So a good bounce back here, looking for that 3rd out. Hoping to leave that runner stranded on 2nd.
And Lincoln, you spent some time talking to Coach Korn before the game, the Harbor Hawk pitching coach, and he mentioned how these pitchers have to bounce back and have some confidence, even if they get a couple runs off of them.
Yeah, and one thing you mentioned, we've talked about a lot of times how a lot of the pitchers, when they're struggling on the mound, Coach Korn heads on out to talk to them, and then all of a sudden they start clicking on the mound again. And he was saying that he's seen these players every day for 2 months, he's seen them throw countless bullpens, and at that point you really just begin to see some mental changes whenever they're on the mound, like changes in your mindset, changes in mechanics, even just the tiniest thing, and also changes in your body posture, and those can mean a world of difference when you're on the mound.
Korn has been an incredibly successful pitching coach for many years, as that one is swung on and hit in the left field for a base hit. Luke Gold is going to have RBI number 18. As Ritter comes around to score, an RBI single for Luke Gold makes this a 3-1 Cotuit lead.
Cotuit has been lively in this inning. The first 3 runners with hits in this inning have all reached home now, and Luke Gold now the 4th with that single after 2 away here.
That's going to prompt a mound visit from Coach Korn, who's going to have to come chat with Adamiak as 3 runs are home in the inning.
The good thing is 2 away, you don't have to worry about that runner at 3rd anymore, just the runner on 1st. Second base is also hot as well, so just a ground ball in the infield would get us out of this inning.
Our infield does a good job, too, of keeping the ball in front of them. Proto returns to the plate as the mound visit concludes with Marc Adamiak. Coach Korn will head back to the dugout. And Lincoln, as we mentioned, the Korn effect as these mound visits usually result in the next batter being retired. We'll see what happens here as Eric Brown digs in. Brown is 0 for 1 with a ground out on the night. Bottom of the 3rd here from Lowell Park. Cotuit has 3 home in the inning, and they hold a 3-1 lead over Hyannis. First pitch, hit on the ground to short. Kyle Ball has it bounce up on him. The throw to second is in time. Ball recovers, gets the out to short way at second to end the inning. Cotuit strikes for 3. Before we head to the 4th inning, we're going to send it over to our sideline reporter, Taylor Farmer, with some more info on today's starter, Marc Adamiak.
Thank you, Austin. Unfortunate that they got 3 runs across there, but Marc Adamiak has been good on the mound, especially through those first 2 innings. A good job of finding the strike zone. And Coach Korn talked about that before the game, just saying that he went through the process of changing Marc Adamiak's delivery and that he has been a lot better in finding that strike zone, and he expects him to be a frontline pitcher when he gets back to Arkansas.
Thank you very much, Taylor. Adamiak has become a good starting pitcher here for the Harbor Hawks, but unfortunately they trail 3-1 as we head to the 4th. We're back in a moment on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network.
Hi, my name's Caden Rose. I'm an infielder for the Harbor Hawks, and you're listening to the Harbor Hawk Network.
4th just moments away before we get going and Mason Greer takes his at-bat. A quick word from Curry College. Curry College is where you go to become anything you want. Curry prepares students to engage in successful careers with learning beyond the classroom. Explore undergraduate programs, NCAA Division III athletics, and continuing education in graduate studies, including 5th-year master's program at www.curry.edu. Mason Greer digs in. He's behind 0-1. He takes, and the count is now 0-2. Austin DeCouta, Lincoln Revill here with you in the booth as the Harbor Hawks look to reclaim the lead. They were leading 1-0 after 2, and unfortunately, Cotuit was able to strike for 3 in the bottom of the third.
Yeah, lots of very hard-hit singles there in that third inning of play for the Kettleers.
The 1-2 is a breaking ball which misses, and the count is now 2-2. Quinn Matthews back on the mound for the Kettleers. The 2-2 on its way. Breaking ball fouled off down the first base line. Greer stays alive. Matthews to this point has fired 3 innings, allowed 2 hits, 1 run, 2 walks, and struck out 2. Not a bad outing. He's limited the base runners once they've got on. Breaking ball in the dirt. Greer goes around. They'll have to throw it to first on the drop third strike. Donlin fires successfully, and Greer is retired for out number 1.
There's that good breaking ball that we've seen from Matthews so much tonight, and now he has another victim of it in Mason Greer, the second drop third strike that he's had tonight. That Matthews has had, that is.
Trent Taylor back at the plate, the UCF outfielder. He takes a strike. So I think we're starting to figure out the strike zone a bit, Lincoln. It seems like the low strike is in play, but outside a little bit, not in the zone. Seems like the zone is a little expanded low, but not out or in. The 0-1 misses 1-1. Taylor flew out to center field in his first and only at-bat.
I will say we did see a strike zone similar to this on Wednesday night in that walk-off win that we had against the Gatemen, where the outside corner seemed to be non-existent in that one. It was a very tight outside corner on that one too. Up until I'll say up until the latter innings, and then it started to widen out quite a bit.
The 1-2 is in the dirt. The count moves to 2-2. Now, we've seen a couple different umpires with varying strike zones. Sparky Burns, one that comes to mind, he loves the outside pitch.
Yeah, absolutely loves it. Gives it a few inches off the plate as well for that outside corner.
The 2-2 is cut on and missed, and down goes Taylor on strikes. 2 up, 2 down, and 3 in a row retired via the punch-out for Matthews. He has his strikeout strut walking on the mound as he fired that strikeout, and he took a nice lap around the mound with some confidence.
Yeah, with feigning 3 in a row, I'd have some confidence up on the mound right now. Got on a little roll.
That'll bring up Ryan Proto with 2 away. He takes a called strike, a fastball at 90 miles per hour, 0-1. Proto popped up to first, which for the second out, in the top of the second. He takes another fastball, and it's 0-2. Pretty identical locations there on the outside part of the plate. Those ones a little bit more over the zone.
Great job by Donlin behind the plate. He's been able to frame up all those outside pitches and make them look even better than they were at the start.
The 0-2 misses, 1-2 the count. Fastball. Could not find the zone. Proto, with 4 RBI on the year, comes into this at-bat batting .286. 1-2 on its way from Matthews. In the dirt, cut on and missed. Will have to throw on to first to end the inning, and they will clean up the drop third strike. So Matthews strikes out the side, swinging in order. He's looking good for Cotuit. They're looking good, holding a 3-1 lead on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network.
Hi, my name is Marcos Pujos. I'm the first baseman for the Harbor Hawks. You're listening to the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network.
Bottom of the 4th inning, ready to begin from Lowell Park. Austin, DeCouta, Lincoln, Revill in the booth as Cotuit holds a 3-1 lead over Hyannis. Bridges, Suggs, Martorella due up as Bridges, his first pitch swinging. Romano with a diving stop. He throws on to first for out number 1. A terrific play by Ryan Romano.
Yeah, it looked like the Kettleers were going to start this one off with a single as well as last inning, but a good job from Romano being able to pick that one off the ground and a good throw to first base for Harris to pick up for out number 1.
And Lincoln, we mentioned after the Coach Korn mound visits, the pitchers typically adjust, and so Adamiak did. He got a ground out on the next pitch and then a ground out here to start the 4th inning. That brings up Matthew Suggs, the left fielder. First pitch to Suggs, misses for a ball, 1-0, 82 miles per hour.
I think it's safe to say now, after seeing this, I think it's safe to say that the Korn effect is real.
I would say so. Adamiak gets the signs from Peroto. The 1-0 on its way. Misses for a ball, 2-0. I gotta say, the radar gun here is fast. As before it hits the mitt, you have it to speed up on the board. 2-0.
Now I have my eye on it just so I can see just how fast it gets up there.
Adamiak fires. That one misses, 3-0.
Holy cow, it gets up there right off the hand.
Yeah.
Good grief. I knew it was fast, but holy moly, that is fast.
Before it even hits the mitt, you have the speed of the pitch up there.
Yeah.
3-0 the count to Suggs. Does he have the green light here for Cotuit? Yeah.
I'd say maybe. You know, you have some room to kill, but I still wouldn't condone it, but he might.
The 3-0. Misses for ball 4. It's a 4-pitch walk issued by Adamiak. The first walk of the game for Adamiak.
Still nothing to worry about. With 1 away, opens up the inning-ending double play with a runner on first. Martorella 1 for 1 with a single. But it was a hard hit single to the infield and chance for a double play.
Cotuit does have 1 error on the night. The 2-0 in the dirt, 3-0. So Adamiak struggling to find the zone a bit. 7 straight balls issued by the tall right-hander from Arkansas.
Now to answer your question from last at bat, no.
No
green light.
Green light here.
Definitely not a green light.
I would happen to agree with you. Adamiak comes set, the 3-0. Called strike, 3-1.
It always takes 1. You got to find that first strike, and then you can start getting into that groove. Adamiak needs to find that groove here so we can get out of this inning without Cotuit scoring any more.
Adamiak takes a look at the signs from Peroto. The 3-1 on its way as he comes set. That one misses for ball 4. Back-to-back walks to start off the bottom of the 4th. Hard to see if there's any action in the bullpen. Actually, it's impossible to see.
Yeah, you can't see it from up here. The combination of the chain link and the dugout makes it pretty hard to see from this angle.
We can't see the foul pole down the right field line either.
Yeah.
But a beautiful ballpark, though, here in Cotuit.
Yeah, that whole right field area down the line is really just... We make calls based off of the crowd reaction here.
Maybe the umpire.
Well, yeah,
umpire for fair foul, but in terms of, I guess, a catch
like
or where the ball's going.
Yeah, like caught in foul territory or something like that. If the Hyannis crowd cheers, we'll know it's an out.
Yeah, because even in the umpire, once he goes down that corner to make it, we can't see him either. So
Yeah.
we'll see how the bleachers react. Big lead at second for Suggs. Adamiak comes home with the 0-1. Proto knocks it down enough to have the runners retreat.
Suggs was getting a little antsy on second base whenever that ball got past Proto. He was leaning towards third like he was going to go, but Proto was able to keep that one close to him, keep that runner from advancing.
The count 1-1 to Donlin. Donlin 1 for 1 with a single and a run scored as part of that 3-run rally that was last inning in the bottom of the 3rd. Cotuit here in the bottom of the 4th has runners on first and second with 1 away. Adamiak comes set and brings home the 1-1, which is a fastball at 93, and it misses to bring the count to 2-1. It's going to prompt a mound visit from Ryan Proto.
I do see some action now in the Harbor Hawk bullpen.
I can't see somebody. It's a left-hander. That's as much as I can tell you.
Yeah.
It's
2 numbers. I see 2 numbers. Is that 18?
It might be Austin Wallace. If the socks, he usually pulls his socks up, but I don't see the high socks today. But it might be Austin Wallace, the lefty.
We know it's not number 10 Skidmore, because Skidmore wears the stirrups.
He does. Could be Wallace or Webster. We'll see. But I think Webster actually pitched 2 innings on Wednesday. It's likely Austin Wallace. We'll see once that person enters the ball game.
Because that looks like a 1, the first number, so I think it is Wallace. Because Webster's 22, as we know.
And Wallace is 18. Count is 2-1. Pitch on its way from Adamiak. Dahlin looking to reach base for the second time in the ball game. Away.
Needs to come back in this count.
The 3-1. That one's hit well to center field. A loud contact off the bat. Elliott running back near the wall. He makes the grab a few feet in front of the wall. The runner's going to tag a late break. The throw by Ball to third, not in time. Good job to get back and tag by Suggs, but a long out number 2 on the flyout.
Now that sounded dangerous coming off the bat. Very loud. Lots of oohs and ahs from the crowd here. Great job from Elliott out in center field. Not scared of running the wall. He got fairly close to it before making that grab. Didn't phase him. He was able to bring. Yeah, with that no warning track, that's especially dangerous. I don't know. I didn't tell you this, but my cousin was playing in a playoff game a couple months ago, and that field didn't have a warning track. Running full on, he was looking at the ball, running back, and just slammed into the center field wall.
Is that right?
Yeah, he was fine.
Oh, good.
But it was a loud play.
Be a scary sight as Ritter gets under that one and flies it to left center field. Taylor's running after it, still running, but makes the grab to end the inning. The Kettleers strand 2. They do hold a 3-1 lead on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network. Orleans and it started. Was it Orleans that started rain a bit?
Yeah.
13-1 game. And it's going to prompt a mound visit from Cotuit. The count is 2-2 with 1 away.
Yeah, that game against Orleans, it didn't rain a lot, but still it rained more than we expected it to.
See if this is going to prompt a pitching change. Maybe Matthews may have hit a pitch count. And it does indeed look like a pitching change here from Cotuit. We'll just wait for a confirmation. Still waiting. Long visit. And it does appear it will be a pitching change as a reliever is coming in. So Quinn Matthews' day is done. A pitching change here from Lowell Park when we return on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network. Back here as Kyle Ball is ready for the remainder of his at-bat against the right-hander from George Washington, Harrison Cohen. Kyle Ball faces a 2-2 count, so I assume, Lincoln, there's a pitch count limit on Matthews, and he hit it during that at-bat.
Yeah, I mentioned whenever Elliott had that single that Matthews had reached 75 pitches. So I bet his limit would have been, what, 80 probably? 80 pitches?
That's what it looks like
yeah.
Here, just about. Or maybe just a matchup move to try to finish off Ball. The 2-2 misses outside, full count 3-2.
A good breaking ball to start that outing out. It was a pretty nasty pitch. It looked good. Just missed a little bit outside.
Almost got Kyle Ball to chase. Clark Elliott in scoring position at second base with one away. The 3-2. Tapped foul and an almost identical pitch. That one just a bit lower. It did get Ball to swing, but he stays alive by just getting a piece of it. The count will hold at 3-2.
Yeah, good battle. He barely got a piece of that one. That almost dipped below his bat, but he was able to just poke at it and get a piece of it.
Elliott gets his lead at second. Cohen comes set, the 3-2. Runner goes, Ball taps that one to shallow second base. Elliott's going to have to retreat. The catch is made by Brown, who throws on to the shortstop covering second. It's a double play to end the inning. Unfortunately for the Harbor Hawks, the hit and run does not come back to help them as they erase any chance of a run that inning. The bottom of the fifth coming up from Lowell Park when we return on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network.
Hi, my name is Gary Calhoun. I'm the manager of the Hyannis Hawks, and you're listening to the Hyannis Harbor Hawks Radio Network.
Bottom of the fifth inning, ready to begin from Lowell Park. Before we start things off, I'm going to go ahead and hand it over to my broadcast partner, Lincoln Revill, who will handle play-by-play duties the rest of the way.
Thank you very much, Austin. Again, great job tonight. You always do a great job whenever you come on for play-by-play, so hopefully I won't be too much worse.
You'll be just fine. You always do terrific.
Count now at 0-1 to Jace Grady, Carter Trice on deck, and Luke Gold will be in the hole as this pitch comes in. That one missing just a bit outside. 1-1 the count.
Adamiak still relying on that fastball heavily here. We saw it's about 93 now. Still good velocity.
And we're going to have to redo that pitch.
That's a tough play to make if you're Mason Greer going straight back, as you get twisted around a bit. Adamiak made a good pitch to jam him there. Just drifted too far out of reach.
Payoff now on the way from Adamiak. (3-2). That's up high and away. Ball 4. Grady reaches with a walk to start us off here, as that's going to bring Carter Trice to the plate. Trice on his line, 0 for 2, a fly out and a ground out to his line. Ground out to third, fly out to center field. Came into tonight's game with a 125 average. Of course, that's gone down a bit. As Adamiak now from come Trice in the right-handed box. Ball lined, a hot shot, way foul down the third base side, out of play, brings the count now to 0-1.
He got ahead of that pitch and he was on it. Loud contact. If he waits back another half second, this might be a 5-1 ball game.
Yeah, if that would have been gone, if that would have been in fair territory, that would have been a line drive home run, not even a pop fly.
I mean, you want to see getting on top of a baseball out front and on it. Don't throw that again.
No. 0-1 now the count. Adamiak, pickoff move over to first. It's already worked once before. It doesn't work that time as Grady gets back safely. That pickoff move ended up working on Noah Bridges back in the second inning. I haven't felt anything. We're underneath the tarp right now, but
just in case we were under the tent because how warm it was to start. The sun was beating down on us, so we have this handy tent that protects on, or me especially. I mean, I burn in April. Well, there's lightning.
Oh no, well, that's no good. Oh, and umpire just called it. Our first base umpire has noticed the lightning.
Yeah, that was close.
We're gonna go under a lightning delay here. So as we know, lightning delay, and we do have raindrops. So that's going to be at least a 30-minute wait. We'll see what happens here after 30 minutes. And
the thunder.
Yep, thunderclap. Yep, people are vacating now. Oh my goodness, never seen people get up so quickly. So I guess we'll take an extended break here. Check back with us in about 10, 15 minutes probably. We'll have an update for y'all. But count at 0-1. Nobody. Harbor Hawks Baseball Network coming to you once again from Lowell Park, Lincoln Revill, alongside Austin DeCouta. We're still here. It's pouring here from Cotuit. It's about almost 7 o'clock here now, and rain is still coming down. They're gonna
it's coming down.
Yeah, without the lights, I don't think we have much more daylight to play in. It's going to take a while to fix things up, but game has not been canceled yet, so we're just going to keep y'all updated here. We're going to still be live up until the point where they cancel the game, so be sure to stay tuned just in case there happens to be more ball played tonight. But we're going to go back to our break now on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network. Lincoln Revill back here on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network from Lowell Park once again. The tarps are coming off. There's movement on the field. We're trying to get the field ready, playable conditions. Not a lot of daylight left, so we're not sure how much baseball is left to be played here tonight, but there is action. It looks like we'll be playing a little bit more at least, so be sure to stay tuned on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network for our, I guess you could say, unofficial first pitch after the rain delay coming up in a few minutes. Back to action here at Lowell Park in Cotuit, in part of Barnstable, Massachusetts, as the Harbor Hawks resuming play here against the Cotuit Kettleers. We are down 3-1 here in the bottom half of the fifth. Count now at 1-1 with a runner on first coming up to Carter Trice. Count now moves to 1-2 after Trice takes a big hack at that one but can't find it. 1-2 the count. Nobody out. New pitcher on the mound for the Harbor Hawks is Austin Wallace. Is stepping onto the mound. We didn't see him on the mound. It was still Marc whenever we went into our rain delay. After about 45 minutes of delay, we are back in action as the pitch comes in. That drops low. 2-2 now the count.
Yeah, it would have taken a great deal of work for Marc to get warm again. Austin Wallace had been throwing. Adamiak obviously had been in the game, but for him to warm back up again, throw through that process already with a high pitch count, it just makes more sense to bring in Wallace, who is already throwing.
Trice at 0 for 2. As that hits him, dead ball called. He chunks his bat and he heads down to first. Runners now on first and second. Nobody out.
Unfortunate there for Wallace. He looked good coming right into the at-bat, but unfortunately that one just slipped out of his hand. If you're Hyannis, or you want to get out of this inning relatively quickly, try to get a couple of outs with the double play in order, that could be possible.
And after those outs, the bats need to come alive very early here as daylight quickly escaping us here. We probably have a little bit, maybe a half an hour left of gameplay here.
We'll see what we can get.
Runners on first and second. First pitch down to Luke Gold is laid down for a bunt down the third base line. It's going to go foul.
Yeah, something about this Kettleer team is all guys in this order can bunt. You see Luke Gold, the 3-hitter in the order, dropping a bunt there. If that could get fair. That was a terrific bunt with Mason Greer playing back. Could have added not just a sacrifice. He could have been safe at first.
Count out 0-1. Still nobody out. Wallace, the left-hander from Austin, Texas, comes set. Takes a quick look over at second before coming home. Both runners go. Throw down to second is going to get through. That goes into center field. That's going to be Grady rounding third and heading home. That's going to score another run for Cotuit. Meanwhile, Trice staying at second, and the Kettleers now lead 4-1.
Well, an interesting choice to throw to second on that play. He may have had just as good of a shot at the guy at third, but Proto felt he had a better shot at second, but nobody was there to cover the bag. It's an unfortunate turn of events there for Hyannis.
Yeah, I think both Kyle Ball and Ryan Romano thought he was going to throw down to third on that one, so they weren't immediately going to cover the bag. But instead, now runner on second, a 4-1 game as Wallace comes home. That's a high fly ball out towards deep center field. That's Elliott on his horse back near the wall, and he'll make the grab for out number one. Chunks it into the infield. Meanwhile, that's Trice now at third base on the tag. That brings a runner to third, one out. Luke Gold with an F8. He goes down to 1 for 3.
Good job by Austin Wallace to throw a pitch in the zone that's competitive and get an out. It's good to get the first out there, or the second out rather.
The crowd has thinned out, extremely thinned out, as at the start of the game, both sets of bleachers were packed.
That is the first out, right?
That is the first out, yes.
It said 2 on the scoreboard. I was confused for a minute.
Yeah, it did say 1 out.
And then I went to 2 outs. Now it's back to 1.
Oh.
It did go to 2 outs. That's where I was getting the second one from.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, Grady reached on a walk to start us off here, followed by Trice being hit by a pitch, and then Luke Gold with the fly out for the only out of the inning so far. Grice did reach home. Or that's Grady, actually. Trice is on third.
I think there is a Grice in the league.
Is there a Grice?
Caden Grice.
Caden Grice.
Trice, Grady, Grice. Lots of similar names.
Yeah, there are.
Yeah, Caden Grice, the Clemson. I think he was a first baseman from Clemson.
I think you might be right, actually. The name is very familiar.
I think he was on Chatham before he left for Team USA.
Ah, I think you're right. Yeah, I do remember. Eric Brown at the plate. A very unique batting stance out in the right-handed box. Holds his arms almost straight out and then turns his bat out towards the field, it looks like. His count now moves to 3-0 with 1 away. sporting white tape on both of his wrists. Yep, holds his arm straight out, bat pointed out towards third base. That one misses outside. Ball 4, 4-pitch walk to Brown, bringing runners to the corners now with one away. Double play will go into effect here in the bottom of the 5th. Chance for the Harbor Hawks to get out of here with that double play if they can get a ball to the infield.
I wonder how wet the field is after the rain we saw not only we saw the lightning, then we followed up that by about 20 minutes or so of rain. Wonder if the ball is going to be slippery if it gets to the infield.
I wouldn't be surprised. It was some pretty heavy, consistent rain for, like you said, 20, 25 minutes straight, just about. First pitch to Wallace is laid down the first baseline. Toss over to first is in time. Run's going to score as Trice comes in from third.
It's one of the best bunts I've ever seen. That was perfectly placed down the first base line, and he nearly beat it out, but he does his job. They tack on a run, and that is just how you manufacture a run. Terrific job by Cotuit.
So Bridges is going to go down with the 1-3 put out. He's now 1 for 3 on his line.
The sacrifice bunt there.
Matthew Suggs now coming up to the plate. Suggs 0 for 1 on his line with a strikeout, and he reached on a walk. Runner goes from second. That one's ripped down the third base line, and that is fouled.
Well, he was ready for that fastball at 88 miles per hour. He jumped on it. And you see Austin Wallace sits between 87 to 89 on his fastball typically, and that one at 88 was in a spot that Suggs was ready for.
Yeah, talk about a hit and run. How about a smash and sprint? Might have called it that. That ball was laced down the third base side. Wallace with a move over towards second, no throw. Brown diving into the base. Wallace now comes set. 0-1 the count, now to Suggs. Pitch in the dirt, good stop from Proto. That one bounced into his chest protector. So that's going to even the count out at 1-1. That dark cloud that we saw come in just before the 4th inning started, I want to say, 3rd or 4th inning. Still looming over Lowell Park, but I think we've seen our share from rain from it. Wallace with the 1-1, chopper over towards second. That's going to be picked up by Romano on the back end, and he can't pick it up. That bounces out of his glove. It's going to bring runners back to the corners with 2 away.
I think the ball is going to be wet. That answers our question. That was a little bit of a slippery situation for Romano, and unfortunately it's an error, and the Hawks can't make the play.
The wet conditions, something we haven't seen in this game so far up until this point.
Here's a dangerous hitter you have to be careful with in the form of Martorella. He's already scorched the ball tonight.
Martorella 1 for 1 with a single. He's reached base twice after drawing a walk in the 4th inning. The next 3 hitters up for Cotuit all have a base hit on the night, and all were in the 3rd inning. Donlin and Ritter up after Martorella as the runner goes over to second. The throw gets wide, and that's going to score another run for the Kettleers as Eric Brown comes in from third. The Kettleers are now going to lead 6-1 here in the bottom of the 5th.
A little bit of trouble there for Proto to get that ball to second. May have slipped out of the hand a bit, trying to hurry his throw.
And they're going to switch the ball out at home plate. Count now goes to 2-0 to Martorella. Wallace with the 2-0. Finds the outside. We've got now 2 balls and 1 strike with 2 away. Playing field now completely shaded. The last bit of sunlight touching about midway up the tree line towards the right field side as that one's fouled off of Martorella. Rolls to the left of the pitcher's mound, but umpire calls dead ball as that brings count even at 2 with 2 away. Donlin on deck, sporting his knee guards, leg guards, I should say, just in case Martorella does go down with that third out. Cuts the time in more than half to get him ready to go back out to the field as that pitch spiked in the dirt. Good stop from Proto, keeping the runner at second. That's Suggs now at second base.
Yeah, good block by Proto. As long as you keep the ball in front of you, you give yourself a chance to make a play, and he does just that.
Proto sporting some pretty nice gear, I might say. Red and blue.
Match the UMass Lowell colors.
The All-Star brand. As that one chopped down the first base line, foul. We're going to stay full, 3 balls and 2 strikes with 2 away. Martorella at the DH spot tonight, as he's in the left-handed box, sporting a black leg guard with what looks like to be light brown, sort of like a beige straps. The payoff coming in. That's lofted out towards left. That's going to be Taylor coming in, and he'll make the grab out in left field for out number 3. Kettleers add 3 more runs and double their score now to 6 as they lead the HarborHawks 6-1, heading to the 6th inning of play on the HarborHawks Baseball Network. Coming back here from Lowell Park for the top half of the 6th inning. As due up for the HarborHawks, it's going to be Nick Romano, Zane Harris, and Dom Johnson, the 3, 4, and 5 hole hitters coming up.
Running out of daylight. See if the HarborHawks can put something together.
That first pitch from Romano launched out towards right field. That's going to be brought under by Bridges for out number 1. A long, loud first out here in the 6th.
Romano's a good opposite field hitter as well. He hit that ball relatively well, unfortunately just got under it a bit. But he's making solid contact in all of his at-bats.
Romano registers his first official at-bat. He's 0 for 1 after reaching base twice, once on a walk and once after being hit by a pitch. That's going to bring Zane Harris to the plate, who's had a sac fly in the first and walked in the 3rd. So his average the average has not been affected so far tonight. As he's still sporting a .215 average. The 0-1 chopped foul down towards the HarborHawks dugout. Bring the count to 0-2 now. Harris from Wright State at first base for the HarborHawks tonight. We'll go over the league scores after this pitch. Coming in from Cohen. That one misses for ball 1. Brings the count to 1-2.
Good pitch.
The Brewster Whitecaps currently lead the Chatham Anglers 3-1 in the bottom half of the 8th inning. Orleans and Bourne, the Firebirds and Braves, are tied at 1 in the top of the 6th. The YD Red Sox are trailing the Falmouth Commodores 2-0 in the top of the 6th inning, and the Mariners of Harwich are leading the Wareham Gatemen by a score of 2-0 in the bottom of the 2nd, as that is a call, strike 3 to Zane Harris. So he goes down with a backwards K, and that's 2 away now for Dom Johnson. Johnson in right field, 0 for 2. Fly out and a strikeout to his line. Cohen from the stretch. Comes set. The first pitch is a swing and a miss. High fastball. Johnson with an 0-1 count.
Terrific pitch by Cohen, putting it on the up and in corner. A tough pitch to hit unless you can get out in front on it, but unfortunately Johnson was just a second behind.
The 0-1. Finds the outside of the zone. 0-2 now the count.
A little bit outside. I don't know if that's been the zone tonight, but he's around the zone. He's throwing the ball hard, too.
There have been a lot of close calls on that outside zone, but they've been hard to find at times. As that pitch comes in, there's one of those hard calls as that misses outside for a ball.
Just about identical to the pitch before. Doesn't want a ball, unfortunately, for Cohen. Fortunately for Johnson.
Maybe an inch out of the zone. As that brings the count now to 1-2. The pitch just misses low. That evens the count. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Now that one was definitely a little bit low and out, but 2-2, 2 away. Lincoln, are you going to bring out the lucky hat?
I'm going to do it. It worked last night, so I'm going to do it.
Oh boy.
Here we go. See if it works. It worked. The ball misses outside.
He is continuing to pepper that outside corner and hope it can bring up Johnson looking, but 4 close pitches in a row, right in the same area.
He's continuously missing by about an inch, maybe 2. As that's a full count. Now to Johnson. 3-2, 2 away. Cohen steps off on the request from Donlin. Going to redo the sequence of signs from catcher to pitcher here. Cohen comes set. Shakes his glove a little bit before coming home. That's outside and low, ball 4.
Good at bat by Johnson to come back from being down 0-2 to draw the walk. Extend the inning a bit, try to get something together here with 2 outs.
Johnson, the first base runner for the Harbor Hawks in this inning. As Mason Greer steps to the plate, 0 for 2 with a flyout, and he went down on a drop third strike in the 4th. Cohen finds that one on the outside, 4 strike 1. Oh, and 1 the count. Greer in the left-handed box. That's low. Touches the dirt for ball 1. Greer going to be traveling to Missouri, all the way from Colleyville, Texas, to attend Missouri State College. University, I should say. The 1-1. Grounded out towards second base. Picked up by Brown. The throw over to first is in time for out number 3. Harbor Hawks go down, no runs, no hits, 1 left stranded. That's Dom Johnson after finding a walk. We head to the bottom of the 6th, as actually they're going to call ball game after the top of the 6th inning. That's actually going to end the game abruptly, as the Cotuit Kettleers are going to defeat the Harbor Hawks by a score of 6-1 after only 5.5 innings of play.
Yeah, running out of daylight, unfortunately, and Harbor Hawks get 1 more at bat, but Cotuit just was able to put some things together tonight and pick up the victory.
An unfortunate short game. We know the Harbor Hawks have been a late inning team, but unfortunately tonight they do not get the chance to have those late inning at bats. I guess that'll do it for us. We continue on the road tomorrow at Harwich, battling the Mariners at White House Field. That'll be, I think that's going to start at 6 o'clock, is it not? Harwich isn't the one with 5:30. Harwich isn't one of the teams without lights. Is that correct?
They do have lights.
They do have lights. All right, awesome. So, yeah, that'll be here on 5:30 on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network. But that'll do it for us here from Lowell Park. The Harbor Hawks with a tough 6-1 loss against the Cotuit Kettleers. For our director of broadcast, Harrison Meyers, our producer, Matt Noah, our sideline reporter, Taylor Farmer, and my broadcast partner, Austin DeCouta, I'm Lincoln Revill saying so long, good night, and God bless.